Hello and welcome to another video. I picked up another box full of cassettes yesterday, and these ones have got music which is much more to my liking. And it came in this box, and I've already got a few of these boxes, which is handy. This one's a bit beaten up though, but it's got some good cassettes in it, some pre-recorded cassettes. I've had a quick look in the drawers, but I haven't gone through them all, so that's what we're going to do now. So these are the cassettes I'm still working through from my last cassette haul video, where I picked up two cardboard boxes of cassettes from a chap, and he phoned me up, or he messaged me and said that he's found another box in his loft. And what these ones are most likely from his son, he thinks. The other ones were for him. These ones are most likely from his son. And from the quick look I've had, these are much more like my my type of music. So we're going to go through them pretty quickly. Oh, there was some nice cassettes. Oh, there's another one of these. There was one of these in the last batch. So there's some nice cassettes. So if we find any nice cassettes which are unusual, I'll have a look at those. And if they're close to the beginning, we'll have a quick look at the condition. Because some of the other ones were a bit worn. They've been played a lot in the car, I'm pretty sure of that. And that's a bad place to have your play your cassettes from. So that one's really nice. I cleaned up one of these because they've had tape over them, and they're a bit dusty. They have been in the loft as well, which doesn't help. So let me show you the ones I cleaned up from the last batch. Okay, so these are the Type 2s that I cleaned up that I'm keeping. I've got loads of unused Type 1s still in their wrappers, and loads of really nice used Type 1s in good condition. So this has just come out of this box here. So I don't need to keep a lot of Type 1s, but if they're Type 2 and the tape's in good condition, then I'm going to keep them. So this is the same one, I think. Yeah, it looks like the same one. And I took the tape off. I haven't actually cleaned that one up because it takes a long time to clean them up. But there's a TDKSA which was all covered in sticky. I managed to get them looking quite good. So I'm hoping to find some more of these Type 2s in this new batch as well. Plus there seems to be a load of music that I think I'll like. So yeah, that one is a cleaned up version of something that was a bit grotty like that. So I just use multi-surface cleaner and a bit of IPA where I couldn't get the sticky off. But the IPA can take off. It actually, one of these tapes had some an ink serial number that had been printed on there, and the IPA took that off. So I don't want to use IPA on this part if I can help it. Anyway, so those are the really good Type 2s that I got from the other batch. So I'm going to put these straight back in the box once I've seen them. So that's a good Type 2, and the condition looks pretty good. Just adjusted the camera angle a little bit there. So we have Phil Collins, Both Sides of the Story. So I'll listen to that. I like Phil Collins in little bit. Oh, it's another one of these as well. So that's really good. So I think I'm going to be listening to that as well. I'm not sure I did like a little bit of swing back, every now and then. So that is awesome. Look at that. Eurythmics Greatest Hits. I think I've seen that somewhere. I don't think I've already got it. I hope the right cassette is in there. Yep, needs to be around. Yeah, it's been played a lot, as you can see. So I really think that these have been played in the car. Although, looking at that wear there, it looks like it's been put in a cassette player like that, with a spring to hold it still. So maybe this hasn't been used in the car. But you can tell that it's been well loved because the ink is rubbing off there. So hopefully the condition of the tape will be good. I do like a bit of Eurythmics. Look at that, excellent. So that's a good find. I'm very fussy with the tracks. I like some tracks from a band and not others. So I listen in a cassette player that's got automatic music search in it, and I can skip through the tracks I don't like. So there we go. Another, is that Type 2? Yeah, that's Type 2. Phil Collins on a Type 2. Excellent condition. Nice inlay card there. Probably stickers. Yeah. So I think they've looked after these, but they've just been used a lot, which is, it's better to use them and wear them out than to not enjoy them at all. So we're getting very lucky with these so far. It's Genesis, again, that's one that I'll listen to. This will be a Memorex one. Yep, Clown Cassette. So what's on that one? That's Genesis. That's a Type 1, so I'll definitely give that a play as well. A Maxell. Oh, an LN. Is this a blue one? Oh, it is. Hang on a second. I've had this LN on display on my desk because I really love this cassette, but the tape has had it. The tape is all crinkly. I think it's got stuck in a cassette machine somewhere. I was going to use, I didn't like the music, but I was going to re-record on it. But the tape is in such poor condition, it's more like just a display model. Oh, but look at that. So that's really good. I really like this style. I think Cassette Comeback's done a video on LNs, which I was going to watch. But yeah, really love that design of cassette. Looks fantastic. The box is in pretty good condition as well. Oh, so that's a concert. That'd be interesting. I don't like watching live music. I hate covers from, you know, not the original artist. I hate karaoke. But I don't mind concerts, but I don't like listening just to the track of the concert. I'd rather watch the video. Because that's part of the performance, is actually seeing the performers. Because the studio recorded one is always going to be better, in my opinion. Or nearly always. So if I'm listening to a concert, I'll probably watch the video for it. In fact, Jamiroquai is one of those ones. There's a track. It was done live, and the one done live in the concert I like the original, but the one at the concert is absolutely brilliant. I'll find the title of it and where it was done, and I'll put it down below in the comments there. Not the comments, just on the screen. So this is a classic album. Some of Phil Collins stuff can be a bit depressing. Not depressing, but it's low energy. He's a great musician, and also like the fact that he's experimented, like Sting has, with different time scales on his music as well. Yeah, okay, that's good. One thing I did do the other day, I listened to one of the pre-recorded cassettes from the previous batch, and I was doing something else in the office. I can't remember what I was doing, probably just tidying or cleaning or doing something, and it was so good. Oh, it was the Simon and Garfunkel one. Oh no, Paul Simon one. It was so good that I literally stopped what I was doing to listen to it properly and had a look at the inlay card. And yes, they are known to be called inlay cards. I found one that had inlay card. It said see inlay card for details. So it's not just J cards, but inlay cards as well. Oh, there you go. See inlay card for details. So I guess if they're just a J shape, they're a J card. And if they're like a fold-out thing like that, it will be an inlay card. Maybe that's the difference. But I knew that inlay card was a word that we used in the past when cassettes were fashionable first time around. So another brilliant one. And the guy said to me, he said I didn't know what to do with them. I keep whacking the camera, sorry about that. I keep hitting the tripod. Ooh, Cream, I've heard of them. James Lavelle, can't remember him. Oh, look at the state of that. Beautiful cassette, but really quite. It's so just in case you don't know, these cassettes, you can let me find one that hasn't got that on it. Hang on 1 second. There's side A of this cassette. I can record on side A and I can record on side B. Now there's nothing to stop me accidentally pressing the record button when I was trying to play it and record and then sort of destroy the original recording or part of it. So what you do, these tabs here, these are write protector tabs or erase protector tabs. If you punch that out, there's a little gap under that, and there's a sensor in the cassette player which goes in there, and if it doesn't get blocked by the tab, then it can record. But if that's been punched out, it can't record on that side, and that is the tab for side B. So what this gentleman has done, and what we all did back in the day and possibly do now, is he's recorded something on this. Oh, this is another live one as well. He's recorded something on this and he's punched out the tab so he can't over record it. But then he's decided he wanted to put something else on the tape, so you just put some scotch tape or sellotape depending on where you're from over that, and then that sensor in the cassette player says, all right, okay, I can record onto this. So this has been recorded at least once. They punched out the tab and then taped over it. The problem is this sellotape leaves horrible sticky marks. And the problem is on a Type 2 cassette, which are sometimes called chrome, it's a different formulation and it needs a different level of recording. And some tape decks can auto sense the type of tape based on the patterns here. So this is Type 1, the cheapest type of cassette. This is Type 2, and you see the hole is bigger. So you'll have two sensors. One sensor comes down here to see whether it can record, and the other sensor, little finger, goes down there, and if it can go down there instead of getting blocked, it knows it's a Type 2 cassette and it can set the recording levels correctly. And if you had Type 3 or metal cassettes, you can just see on here, see those two bits there, that's for side A, that's for side B. If those were missing, then it would be a Type 3 or Type 4 cassette, which is, there's not any Type 3s, but Type 4 is called a metal type. And that needs a lot more power going onto the recording to get a good recording. So now I've pulled that off, I'll need to clean that up. I don't think it's worth me doing a video for cleaning up these things, and it takes so long to do each one. But these cassettes will look much nicer once that's been cleaned off. Okay, moving on. So Cream and Paul Oakenfold, I think there might be 70s based bands. Oh, look, another. I think these are all Type 2 apart from that Memorex. No, Memorex and Maxell ones. These ones here, that one, that one, that one and that one are Type 1. So these Type 2 ones are better quality tapes essentially. And I love the design of this. I've never had these until I picked up this batch. See, that one's been punched out but no tape applied to it. So generally, if you're going to put tape on them and re-record, then take the tape straight off, then it won't leave sticky stuff all over the cassette. Lovely, it looks in pretty good condition as well. And the J card, I'll just show you that in case you didn't watch the other video. Black Magnetite. And these are very dark, these cassettes, these tapes rather, very dark, almost black. So yeah, pretty cool. And some spare labels. I don't generally like labels on cassettes, but it's difficult to keep track of what's on them if you don't put a label on. I like to use a label printer because they're easy to put on and easy to take off as well. Right, it's worth the 3/4 hour trip, round trip, to get these just for those cassettes. I did actually combine it with something else I had to do locally as well, so it's not like I've burned away a load of fossil fuels getting there for no reason. I can't get that back in there now, so let me pause a second. There we go, so that's that done. Let's do the top layer first. Queen, Live Magic. Pre-recorded. Actually, I'm not a massive fan of Queen, I have to say. They are a good band, but it's not my type of music most of the time. But the live stuff they do is absolutely amazing. I mean, they're all good performers, but Freddie Mercury was one of the ultimate showmen, I think, so that's a good one. There we are. Lovely art, lovely album art. Okay, so now we're going on to Memorex DBS, are actually quite good cassettes. Oh, it's not Queen. I want it all, so that's probably an album that he's recorded. I love this style of cassette. They've got a blue one as well, but I love this gold insert on here. Let's have a quick look at the cassette tape, should I say. Excellent, so these look in pretty good condition. It's usually the beginning of the cassette that gets mangled when it's is first played in a cassette. You rewind it to the beginning of the side to listen to it, then you play it and you realise your cassette deck is not maintained and it chews up the tape. Another good one there, more Queen, I guess. Wrote it on there, didn't he? Nice cassettes, nice boxes. Maxell, I've been after getting one of these. Look at that. Maxell you are. I like this. Cassette Comeback again has done, he's done cassettes, he's done videos on all cassettes essentially. But this, I think he liked this version of the Maxell UR, and I like that design as well, the oval design, really nice. And the cassette box is in a good condition. More Queen. Inlay cards, no, J card. Oh, a bit missing, I think, of that. No, it isn't. There it is. It seems to be stuck down. Oh, that's interesting. So it's glued down. I wonder why that is. Okay, let's pick up the pace. I appreciate these can't be very interesting for people. Oh, I keep hitting the tripod, sorry. Queen's Greatest Hits on a TDK CDN2. So it's an SF box, TDK SF box, and a CDN2. So again, this was sort of later on in the life of TDKs, not too late though, but this is Type 2, but they were sort of entry-level Type 2s, I think. What is this? Introspective. Oh, Pet Shop Boys. So this is 80s stuff. 2 albums from Pet Shop Boys. Oh, hang on a second. Now I'm confused. So it's on a Matsui tape, which isn't the best brand of tape. There's the original J card for it. Is this one even made up? Oh, I like this. So I'm looking around the camera at the same time. So that, what is going on here? Hang on a second. He's stuck. These are different colour tapes or papers being stuck onto the J card. Can we see underneath that? Let me have a look off camera. No, I think this is one he's made up himself. So it's a piece of paper with the track listings on it, and he's got different colour bits of paper stuck to it, and this has been cut out, and that's really that's quite amazing, really. To go to that trouble to produce something. I don't know whether it looks like the original album art for one of these albums, but that's pretty cool. Nice work. Okay, I've now got a problem. I can't get the cassettes out because the tripod's in the way. So, okay, a TDK D box. So it's TDK D box, but a TDK CDN2 inside it. Fuji's. Okay, good. I'll play that, see if I like them. I can't think of any of their stuff at the moment. And that's a Sony HF cassette in a CDN box. E17 and Cyndi Lauper, probably not Cyndi Lauper, maybe a little bit of E17, but they were absolutely massive, but they weren't my favourite group. Let's just move that tripod out of the way now. And the problem is with these boxes, there's no way for them to not sort of bend down when you get them open. Oh, we did that one, didn't we? Yeah, we did that one. Janet Jackson, that's what was worth a listen, I suppose. So we've got, oh yeah, another SF Type 2. Really good, really nice cassettes. MC Hammer. Excellent. Oh, I've got a receipt in there as well. Let's have a look at that. Back when you had shops, remember those? Oh, brilliant. So what's on the receipt? Oh no, it's faded. I'm looking at the phone camera here. Is that backwards? Oh, I think it's upside down. Let me see if I can make it out off camera. Yeah, it's really too faded. Actually, just zoom in. It's easy to pick out on the camera. So we've got one. That's it. Can't figure out anything else. That's a shame. Oh well. Let's move on. Let me put that one back together and we'll move on. Right. What's that? Rugby RE department short course revision. Oh, nice. Nice topics. Ooh, religious concepts. What the hell? Oh, hang on. Rugby? Ooh. That must be a school. Ah, that's a bit awkward because that other video's already been edited and posted up for patrons. And that, oh well. Quite a nice cassette that actually. So I wonder what it was. It's actually that is one of the tapes from the last haul from the same person basically, and it had that on it. And this is a GCSE revision, so I wonder, it's RE revision, so I wonder if that's the name of the school. It's not a school I'm familiar with though. I suppose they could have moved, it might be way out of my area. Very weird. I might have listened to that anyway, briefly. Okay, draw 3 of 6. Sorry about the length of time this is taking. Right, let's move my phone across, move my Dire Straits. That's not how you spell Dire. Okay. That's not how you spell Straits either. But another lovely blue SLN from Maxell. Let's have a quick look at the beginning of this tape. I like Dire Straits. Again, some of the slower ones I'm not too keen on, but the musicianship on everything they make is amazing. That's in excellent condition. Dire Straits is a little bit country, and I don't like country music. You know, what is it, twangy guitar thing, but I do like Dire Straits, one of my favourite bands. In fact, my favourite track, and it's not very PC, but it just is good for the time of when it was recorded, is Money for Nothing. The lyrics on there, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, so I won't go on about it now. Look at that, Scotch BX. Quite a fan of Scotch tapes. They were fairly cheap, but reliable back in the day, as I recall. Especially Scotch videotapes, they were particularly good. VHS tapes. Right, lovely. So that's type 1, I guess. Yeah, that's type 1. Position 1, type 1. Right, I've got to straighten up the camera because this is doing my head in. Hang on a second. Let's move it a bit further back. That's better. So Prince, that's what we just looked at. So Prince, I'll give a listen to Prince. Bon Jovi, not my type of thing, but I'll probably give a listen to that as well. Give a listen, I'll probably listen to that. Keep the Faith. Another Scotch tape. Kim Wilde. Oh, we went to see her in concert. Sound like a right fanboy, don't I? Yeah, my wife likes Kim Wilde. I don't know what I'm thinking. She liked Blondie, the band. Oh, Nigel Kennedy. That was a 90s thing, wasn't it? He's a violinist. So we can find a copyright time. Oh, copyright on that. Oh, 89, there we go. So he's a violinist. Very popular, very famous back in the day. Bringing a bit of culture to the music scene. Status Quo, oh, I know this is heresy, but Status Quo and lots of rock bands to me now seem like novelty bands. You know, they're supposed to be rock and roll, you know, hardcore and stuff like that. And you look at it and it looks like a really poppy novelty music to me. Talking of poppy, Erasure is very poppy from the 80s. But really, you know, I'll listen to that, it's quite good as well. Vanilla Ice, not something I couldn't name a single Vanilla Ice record, but I'll give that a go. I'm always looking for artists that I'm not familiar with, I can maybe get a new appreciation of that I didn't like before. I mean, Dire Straits is one of those, actually. Dire Straits and the Queen, the live stuff from Queen. I would never watch that back in the 80s. Top 10 tracks by original artists. Smiths was a brand of crisps, chips, if you know what that is, if you're in America. But for the rest of the world, it's crisps. You know, potato crisps, that sort of thing. That'll be interesting. What's on that one then? No information on there. Oh, Bangles. There was a Bangles cassette in the last match. King. It was quite good as well. Cyndi Lauper. That's a good track. I'm not a fan of her, most of her music. Again, Paul Young, really good singer, but it's more ballady type stuff. DC Lee, I probably won't like that. Oh, Bonnie Tyler, no. Shaky Stevens, no. Dead or Alive, oh, that's a good track actually. My daughter likes that one. All Cried Out again, Alison Way. Thriller by Michael Jackson. So yeah, that was they must have paid the record company to a small amount, and I suppose what you did was you bought loads of crisps and sent off the packets, and they sent you a cassette. Box has seen better days, but Shakin' Stevens, yeah, and Push by Bros. Yeah, I think I've got that. Yeah, I have. I've definitely got that on an LP, which in today's terms is vinyl, 12-inch vinyl album. Okay, might as well go down here and work backwards. Jimmy Nail, what an actor! What a brilliant actor! Alfred Zane Pet is one of my Desert Island DVDs. If I had to be stranded on a desert island, the Alfred Zane original series and the subsequent series, I could watch those over and over again. And I don't really like watching repeats, but Alfred Zane, the TV series, was brilliant. That's interesting. Enigma is one of the cassettes, but it's been recorded like a home recorded one, and it's kind of what's the word for it? Acoustic, new wave. I don't know what they called it. But, yep, I'll give that a listen as well. Sort of thing I like to listen to when I'm. So Enigma must be the band. While I'm at work, I listen to that. Nice Type 2 SA90. Oh, some more of these fancy oval shelled URs. I like those. What's on that one? Snap It Up. Ooh, can't remember who that's by. In the Mix 96. Wasn't really a fan of the 90s music, most of the 90s music. Oh, what's on this one? Oh, there we go. It might be Tubular Bells. I've already got that actually on cassette, I think. Oh God, and more heresy here. Sorry if you're into this sort of thing, but Tubular Bells starts off pretty good, but it just is too long. Top Gun, oh, brilliant. Miami Sound Machine. Yeah, I'll listen to that. It's a bit too American, really. I prefer the British pop scene for the most part, but and really in the late 70s and early 80s, Britain, and especially south of Britain, was the world centre of pop music. It's the world centre of synth music, that's for sure. Oh snap! Didn't mean that. No pun intended. Oh, so that's a single, cassette single. So that probably retailed for about £2.99 in the 90s. Problem is with these, that's Dolby. So that's recorded with Dolby noise reduction. And the problem is, if you buy anything modern, Sony isn't licensing the Dolby sound reduction, noise reduction chips or anything to do with it now. So any recent cassette player is not going to have a capability of using that noise reduction, and then you'll find that the cassette sounds a bit muffled, a bit low. Oh no, it's the other way around. It will sound, if it's got Dolby on it, it will sound very bright, so lots of treble. So Dolby noise reduction on a cassette, you would, if you recorded nothing on it or you listened to it, it would have hiss on it, a high frequency hiss. So what Dolby does, when you record in Dolby, it raises the treble on the music that you're recording. It puts it to an artificially high level. And then when you play it back, it reduces that high frequency treble sound back down. And while it reduces the music's treble, it's also reducing the hiss, the background hiss on the tape. So if you listen to something that's been recorded with Dolby on a cassette player that doesn't have Dolby, you'll find that the treble is over enhanced. That's why you want to try and listen with Dolby switched on if you've got Dolby cassette. So classic album, one of the highest selling albums of all time, I think. But I can't get it in the box. There we go. Some good stuff there. So Michael Jackson recorded onto a Memorex, and oh, what? Pretty Women and Kathy Dennis. Pretty Women. Okay. I don't know what that is. I will check that out. I think there might be a few spelling errors there. Can I get that out? I've got to move the camera. I've got to move the tripod again. Good. After 200 odd videos, you'd have thought I'd know what I'm doing, wouldn't you? What's that there? Can't see it. That's not one of those. Some sort of mix. Okay, so far there's almost everything on here I'll be listening to. And I've got 25 odd cassettes that I'm still listening to from the first part of this batch a couple of weeks ago. To check those out. Okay, let's move this back in again. Let's have a break for editing. There we go, a little editing break and a readjustment of the camera so I don't keep hitting the tripod. But now I can't see around it. There we go. Shakespeare's Sister. Hormonally Yours. Oh my word. Levelers. Okay. I quite like this style of cassette. It's Memorex DBS. I think DBS was one step up from their entry level Type 1 cassettes. Is it Type 1? That's a good question. Do I make it sound as if I know what I'm talking about? Who knows? Energy Rush. So I guess that's Energy by Rush. Who knows? Oh, we've got a Philips standard quality cassette here. Who wants standard quality, eh? Ooh, Ulysses. Ooh, that's a real... God, I love that cassette. Tinted oval window cassette shell. Okay. Don't think you really needed to point that out, Maxell. That's a good looking cassette. UR90 though. That is the J card from a much earlier Philips. Very nice cassette in the wrong box, unfortunately, but there you go. Bon Jovi, more Bon Jovi. Yep, TDK AR90, that's Type 1. Is that Type 1? Yeah, Type 1 normal position. Nice looking cassette though. Had a couple of those in the first part of this batch. And it's in the right box for a change, that's good. Singles mix. TDK-D, probably in the right box as well. So that's the sort of thing. If I like the music, I'll keep it. If I don't like the music, then I'll pass that on either to charity or whatever I'm going to do with it, because I've got more Type 1s than I can ever use, I think. And you can still get new Type 1s anyway on eBay. So if I needed Type 1s, I'd rather get a new one and not have to deal with the damage on the tape and missing bits of boxes. Right, so let's put that back in there. Guns N' Roses. Nice SA. Type 2, good condition by the looks of it. Yeah, these are much better condition boxes than the last batch. I would definitely put this in the cassette player and listen to it, probably skipping through the tracks. There might be a few tracks that I really like. I probably know the words to nearly all of these anyway from back in the day. Dick Tracy. I thought it said Dick Tragedy, which is something entirely different. Interview 1. Oh, we had some of these cassettes as well in the last batch. So I don't know what Interview 1 was. Maybe she was interviewed. So that'll be worth listening to. And I bet you this is Interview 2. Yep, that's got 2 on it, so I guess that's 2. So the final batch with the broken door on it. Let's move this over a little bit. Oh, Gimme Shelter. Oh, hang on a second. 3 unique versions. Voice of the Beehive. Heaven 17. Oh. Gimme Shelter is the first track on, oh hang on, there we go, this playlist that I made, Ford Rebel Shelter, and on the B-side of this cassette I've got, it's actually in the cassette player at the moment, Wish You Were Here, but I don't like that album very much, but I made this playlist, recorded it on there, on that, but then I experimented with making my own J-cards. There's a template for this somewhere online, and I just grabbed some album art of the main people who are on the playlist and copied it in. That's what's on the playlist. So yeah, so I like that. That's really good for my coffee walk in the mornings when I'm going out for a walk. I'm grabbing a coffee and getting my head ready for the day, or figuring something out that I'm stuck on. So I don't know what this is, so I'm looking forward to listening to that. I don't think it's an album. It's not like original. It's Heaven 17, quite like that as well. So it sounds like it's like guest artists singing on other people's songs, or re-recording of them. Yes, it must be so it's the Gimme Shelter. Oh right. Oh God, you probably picked that up already, but I didn't. So it's 4. There's an interview. So there's 4 tracks. These are the same track, but they're recorded by other artists. I think the Rolling Stones is the original artist for that. And that'll be interesting to listen to. Sorry, I'm waffling, but trying to figure it out as we go along. That'll be interesting to listen to. Now, you probably noticed I just cut some audio out because I was singing what I think this track is, and I do not have a good singing voice. It's almost as bad as my dancing feet. So that's a single, I think. Baker Street Undercover. Ooh, nice art. Again, I think that's probably a single. Yeah, there's not much tape on it, so that's a single. Okay, let me show you that. Ah, right, yeah, no, this track, K.D. Lang, Constant Craving, I will not be listening to this. There's a little bit of history for you. Woolworths was a sort of general store that you could buy. They were very popular for their music, but they sold household goods and stationery and that sort of thing back in the day. So $2.29 for a single. If you wanted to buy an album, the album on which this came, you would probably end up paying about $9.99 for it at this time, £9.99. So what you would do is you'd have a think, what tracks do I know I like? And if there were 3 tracks that you liked from the artist and they were on the album, you're thinking you're getting up there to 3/4 of the cost of buying the album, you might as well buy the album. And then usually the other tracks on the album were no interest to you. So who's this? Oh, Annie Lennox. So it's just a single. Incredible voice. So that's a single. So that's not, what was their group? Annie Lennox. God, I have a mental blank. The group she was in, I can't remember. But I listened to a lot of this stuff. But I'll put it on the screen just at the bottom there. Ooh. No, not really a fan of Lisa Stansfield. She did a couple of really good tracks. That'll be worth it. So these are singles. Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of him either. Again, a bit too American for me at the time. Never really got into it. Oh, there's a cassette single. And the problem is when you use like just not a non-standard cassette box, the tape tends to unwind itself and not stay fully on the spools. Then it can get jammed in your cassette player straight away when you put it in. Oh, good grief! Right, I listened to This Week in Google, which is a podcast from the Twits network, and there was a really funny bit. It's one that came out roughly at the beginning of November. Really funny bits where they're talking about AI and who else designed weapons. So it's probably a 2-hour podcast, and you'd have to find it. So if you're not into that sort of technology, then don't bother. But if you listen to it, you might already know it. And this, I was sick of this song because it was played to absolute death in clubs and stuff. So I'm guessing this is mid-80s or early 80s, I can't remember. But it's still played a lot. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's a good tune, but Europe was massive back in the day, and it just got overplayed as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't as good as I'd liked. So that's it. So we've got here probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 6, 72 more cassettes. Excellent. Not bad for a free haul, and almost everything. Oh, I missed one. Almost everything in here I will listen to. MC Hammer again. Oh, Pet Shop Boys. Okay, really like their earlier stuff. Not so much the later stuff. Right, I think that's it. I don't think I missed any. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Hang on just a cotton picking minute. I've just given all of this a nice clean after the haul video where I got it all from, and I noticed this on the Shaky Stevens cassette. Includes free Shaky computer game for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum 48K. So it's a audio cassette, you know, typical and here is the card, the Shaky game. I don't have a Specky, that's what we used to call these, ZX Spectrums. I don't have one. And I think they're pretty expensive. But I'm very tempted to try and get one just so I can see whether I can get this game to load. So you load it from tape. So at the end of the music, this has got the computer game on there. If you're younger, then you won't know what I'm talking about, but it's an audio file which you can load via a headphone jack into a 1982 computer, and it takes 2 minutes and 42 seconds to load, and it's got to be less than 48k, and 1k is 1,000th of a megabyte or thereabouts. So there we go, a little bit of computer stuff from the era of computers I quite like. I've never owned a Specky, so do I buy a Specky just to load this, only to find that it won't load properly? Probably not, but there's a little bonus video about that cassette haul. Thanks a lot, see you in the next video.